1 puff pastry. And we're just rolling it out onto our sheet pan. And we're gonna keep that parchment paper that it comes on. Now that our puff pastry is rolled out, I'm gonna kind of move it to the side a little bit and grab my knife, and we're gonna go ahead and cut some slits into our puff pastry just like so. We're gonna do this right along the entire puff pastry on both sides, super quick and easy. All right, so we just did the same thing on both sides of our puff pastry. Now it's time to get this nice and filled. I have here some Philadelphia no-bake cheesecake. If you can't find this, you can make your own, or you can get the Jell-O no-bake cheesecake. And as you can see, we already dug into this, so I know it's delicious. And we are gonna add this nice layer right on top of the center of our puff pastry. We don't need too much, because if we overflow it, it will not be as pretty as we want it to be. But we're just getting this right in the center, spreading it thinly so that we get a good layer of that delicious no-bake cheesecake. Now I'm gonna come in with my cherry pie filling. I absolutely love this pie filling. And we're gonna go ahead and add a few scoops of this pie filling right on top of our cheesecake. Now you can use whatever pie filling you like. You can do an apple for fall time. You can do, some blueberries if that's your favorite. But I thought cherries would be great for every holiday in between. Okay. That looks great. Just like the cheesecake, we don't want to add too much and have it overflowing. So we're going to bring back our same spatula and just kind of flatten that on top of our cheesecake. Oh yeah, those cherries are just going to burst in our mouth and be so yummy. Okay, beautiful. Now it's time for the fun part. We're going to grab our little puff pastry slivers and we're going to just fold them in just like this. And we're gonna do opposite sides so that we get a beautiful braid on top of our cheesecake and our cherries. Okay, let's quickly do this so we can pop it in the oven. All right, we're just gonna finish up our last 2 braids, just like so. Beautiful. Now, before we pop this in the oven, I'm gonna grab 1 egg and we're gonna go ahead and get that right into our little bowl. We're gonna scramble our egg with our brush so that we can do a quick egg wash on our beautiful cheesecake cherry puff pastry braid. Oh my goodness. So this is our last ingredient. Like I said, it was 4 ingredients: the puff pastry, the cheesecake, and the cherry pie filling, and then lastly, the egg wash. Oh my goodness. And honestly, if you don't have an egg, you can skip this part, but the egg wash is just gonna make it nice and brown and golden and exactly what we want it to look like. Oh, I'm so excited.
You could also do a butter wash too.
Yeah, you could do a butter wash or even a milk wash. Whatever you have, you can use that. It's not that, particular. All right, and this is ready for the oven. My oven is set to 350, and this is gonna bake for 20 to 25 minutes. Oh my, this looks absolutely delicious, you guys. Okay, we have one last thing we're gonna add, and that's some powdered sugar. That's just gonna make it look extra beautiful. So we're just gonna do a nice little sprinkle on top of the whole entire thing. Oh, looks so good, right, babe?
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to devour this whole thing.
Yeah, okay, I think that's plenty of powdered sugar. I have here my little perfectly sized cutting board. So now we just gotta transfer it, and good thing we kept it on this parchment paper. Should be relatively easy to transfer. Look at that.
Whoa, that was way easier than I anticipated.
I'm just gonna scoot it over a little bit. And then it's time to dig in. All right, and I'm just going to cut myself a beautiful piece. Take a look at this. Oh my, and look at that cheesecake oozing out.
Oh, yum.
Okay, time to dig in. Get your puff pastry. Make those papers. I have some string cheese here, and I'm gonna lay them on each side of my puff pastry, just like this. Now I'm gonna grab this and just do a little roll of my puff pastry. Just like that. Tuck it in there. Beautiful. Do that on each side to get a nice crust with that string cheese in there. It's gonna look a little funny at first, but trust me, this is gonna be the best dinner, lunch, snack you've ever had. Okay, now that we have a beautiful base, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my favorite pizza sauce. And I'm just gonna put a little bit right on top of that puff pastry. This is gonna be so good. I love making this for my kids when they get off of school. It's so quick and just like the perfect little snack lunch bite. Okay, this one I'm making today though is for me, so I'm gonna make it nice and fancy. All right, I personally don't like a lot of marinara, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more and then be done with it. But you can use as much as you like. Ooh, our oven's already ready for us. Okay, some fresh mozzarella. I told you I was gonna make this fancy. And these are already cut into slices. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put 3 slices, 4 slices. Yeah, I think 4 slices will fit perfectly in there. Just like that. Grab some basil. I already washed this, don't worry. And I'm just gonna rip it up and kind of just snug it into the pizza. Just to get that nice, Italian basil flavor in there. You don't wanna skip this part. Okay, perfect. Now, if you haven't guessed it already, I'm making a margarita pizza, so we're gonna add 2 tomatoes on top. Beautiful. Now we're almost done here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some melted butter. And then I have some garlic salt that I'm gonna add to that melted butter. I wanna make sure it's nice and seasoned. Okay, go ahead and mix that all together. I'm using salted butter, but you can totally use unsalted if you don't want all that sodium. And then just brush it onto those crust sides. So this is a stuffed crust pizza, and it's so good, you guys. It tastes like it's from Italy, I swear. That mozzarella and the crust, and I did that fresh mozzarella on top. It's gonna be so good. Now to finish this off, it's about to pop in the oven, but I'm just gonna grab my Parmesan cheese and sprinkle it on the entire pizza. Don't be skimpy with your cheeses. All right, and there you go, your beautiful stuffed crust margarita pizza. My oven is set to 350 and we're gonna bake it for about 40 minutes, super quick. Can't wait. Look how delicious this looks. Oh my, I'm so excited to try it. Look at that puff pastry, it just puffed up like a balloon. Those tomatoes smell so good. All right, let's make sure it can come off the tray. Oh yeah, no problem. Go ahead and plate this baby. And the best part about this is it's an individual pizza. So you're just gonna go ahead and grab it. No cutting needed, and take a bite. That is the best pizza I've ever eaten. All right, that was just my puff pastry that we laid out on our muffin tin. I am next gonna bring in my pizza cutter, and we're gonna cut out our puff pastry so that it can fit beautifully into our muffin tin. So just go vertically and horizontally until we have 12 pieces of puff pastry. All right, now that these are all cut out, I'm gonna bring in my whipped cream cheese. Now I'm using the whipped cream cheese, but you can also just use softened block of cream cheese. And I'm gonna grab my cookie scoop, and we're gonna add a scoop of our cream cheese into each of our muffin tin holes. Now this is gonna be a super easy, super fast appetizer. It is not only great for game day, but it's also great for like a fancy party. It is the perfect combination of tasty, easy, and kind of elevated. So I'm adding our cream cheese right in there. We're adding about maybe like a tablespoon of cream cheese into each of our little pieces of puff pastry. Okay, let's finish these last two up, and then we can get our third and final ingredient for this super quick elevated appetizer. All right, and that ingredient is our red pepper jelly. Yes, you heard that right. This stuff is incredible. It's made out of bell peppers, and it's just kind of like a savory jelly compared to like a sweet jelly. And we're just adding our jelly right into our little pieces of puff pastry with our cream cheese. Red pepper jelly and cream cheese go absolutely beautiful together, but you could also make this with a brie, or you could make it with like a Boursin cheese, but I personally love cream cheese. It's, you know, a cheaper alternative to it, and also it just goes so fabulously with our red pepper jelly. Now, you could also sub out the red pepper jelly for any kind of jelly that you like. If you want to make it a more sweet jelly, you could totally do that, but I am loving this combination. Beautiful. All right, we're just gonna finish these up by folding in the corners of our puff pastry just like that, so we can enclose the cream cheese, the red pepper jelly, and we get nice melted gooiness when we put this in the oven. Now, also another alternative for the puff pastry could be a pizza crust or that crescent dough. You could even do little crescents inside your muffin tin. That also works beautifully, and that will cook even faster than the puff pastry. But we're gonna go ahead and just finish closing up, you know, bringing in all those corners so that we can get this cooking. All right, these are done. Now you could do an egg or a butter wash, but I'm gonna keep it to the 3 ingredients, and I'm gonna put this in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. All right, you guys, these are ready. Now I know they look a little pale on top, but once we pop them out, you'll be able to see that beautiful cooked puff pastry. Look at that browned, golden deliciousness. These super easy 3 ingredient appetizers are ready to enjoy. All right, let's get these nice and plated for our guest. All right, those are for my guests, and then I have one ready for me to try on my little appetizer plate. Woo, I cannot wait. Wow. Flaky, sweet, savory, delicious. You gotta try it. Your puff pastry, melted butter, and just brush it right on top of that puff pastry. We are making an easy and yummy breakfast with a fruity twist. If you like strawberries, you're gonna wanna stick around for this, because this is gonna be a delicious strawberry breakfast. Cinnamon, and just sprinkle it right on top of that butter. You wanna be generous with the cinnamon. It needs to be in every single bite, okay? Oh, this is looking so beautiful. And I just love the smell of cinnamon. Okay, get it from edge to edge. Beautiful. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab some brown sugar. I'm using the light brown sugar, but you can use dark or whatever you prefer. And we're just gonna sprinkle it on top, just like we did with that cinnamon. All right, we're almost done here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some white sugar and just do a quick sprinkle of that. Not a lot, because we already have a lot of sugar and cinnamon on there, but we definitely want this to be sweet. Now for that fruity element that I was telling you about, I have some diced up fresh strawberries. And this is going right on top of all of those cinnamons and sugars. Don't be skimpy with these strawberries because that's what's really gonna make these so good. We are making strawberry cinnamon rolls. They're kind of homemade, but since we did the puff pastry, they're easy. Because we like easy recipes in this house. Okay, and just make sure there's strawberries in every bite, just like we did with all the other ingredients. This is all on our pre-made puff pastry. These are gonna be delicious. They're kind of gonna be like croissant cinnamon rolls because they'll be all puffy and delicious. Okay, used all those strawberries. Now for the fun part. Just kind of pulling back that parchment paper as we roll, using it to our advantage. It's okay if the strawberries start to ooze out, because trust me, there's plenty in there. Ooh. Okay, got our cinnamon rolls nice and rolled out. Ooh, these are gonna be beautiful. Just wait till we open them up. Grab your 13x9 pan. Just take a look at that. Ooh, it's gonna be so delicious when they bake up and be pretty and beautiful. Okay, beautiful. All right, now we have our oven set to 350 and we're gonna bake these for about 20 minutes. Pop them in. All right, now while that's in the oven, we are gonna make some quick icing. So just grab some powdered sugar, put that in the bowl. Perfect. And then to go with the strawberry theme, we're actually gonna use strawberry milk instead of regular milk to make this icing a strawberry icing. You don't need very much though. And just start mixing away. The easiest icing you'll ever make. Just 2 ingredients and it's gonna go perfect with those strawberry cinnamon rolls. Now this is ready for when our cinnamon rolls come out. All right, I think this is ready. Oh wow, it smells so good. Hey. Look at those. So fluffy and so delicious. All that strawberry juices. Okay, now we can't forget that beautiful icing we made. Drizzle it just right on top using our whisk. Oh, these are gonna be so delicious and so strawberry. Ooh, yeah, coming out perfect. That looks so good. I need to try this right now. Oh my God, it's cooked perfectly. So good. 1 puff pastry sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it out just oh so slightly. I did let this thaw out for about an hour, so it's a little bit softer than it usually is. Okay. Just a nice, thin puff pastry. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab a heart cookie cutter and I'm gonna cut out some beautiful hearts out of my puff pastry. Just like this. We should be able to get 6 hearts out of this 1 sheet of puff pastry. go ahead and peel back that extra puff pastry. And you can roll that out a little bit more and make some more hearts if that's your style. But like I said, we only need 6. And grab a sheet pan. And I'm gonna transfer my little heart puff pastries onto the sheet pan. Make sure to give each one their own space because they do puff up. That's why puff is in their name. Go ahead and grab an egg and a little brush, and we're gonna break that egg up because we're gonna do a quick egg wash. Now, if you don't have an egg, you can use melted butter, but I think that the egg wash does the best job for what we're making today. It's just gonna make that puff pastry brown and beautiful. All right, now these are ready for the oven. My oven is set to 350 and they're gonna cook for only 20 minutes. All right, now while that's in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead to my freezer where I put my bowl and my whisks. If you follow me, you know what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go ahead and put my whisk attachments onto my hand mixer because we are making some homemade whipped cream. All right, and the colder your bowl is, the colder your heavy whipping cream is, the better. Okay, go ahead. We're gonna make a lot, so let's use this whole bottle of heavy whipping cream. This is 16 ounces.
2 cups.
Yeah, and last time you guys got mad at me for not adding powdered sugar, so I'm gonna add some powdered sugar in here. I think I'm gonna add about a cup of powdered sugar. I just measure with my eyes, you guys, okay? That seems like about a cup. Beautiful. Now, last but not least, some pure vanilla extract. And we're just gonna do a teaspoon. And that is a full cap.
Wait, really? A full cap is a teaspoon?
Yep.
I had no clue.
Fun fact.
That's cool.
The more you know. All right, let's go ahead and turn this on and whisk away. Okay, let's go ahead and slow this down. All right, chef always needs a taste. It's perfect. All right, look how cute our little hearts are. Okay, we're gonna transfer them super quick to a cutting board. Woo! They are warm, fresh out of the oven. They're so puffy and cute.
They're so puffy.
Go ahead and grab a serrated knife and we're gonna cut these right in half, just like this.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah, oh look.
They just broke apart.
Comes apart on its own, I love that. Homemade whipped cream, and we are just gonna go ahead and go ham. So good, and if you have any extra, just load it on there, because the more whipped cream, the better. Some sliced strawberries. I had to do a strawberry dessert one more time before they go out of season because they are my favorite fruit. And this is it. Look how easy these are coming together. We're almost done. After we get these strawberries in here, we have one more step to make them look super gorgeous. And close those babies up. Get that little
perfect
heart topper on there. We're gonna finish off with a nice little dust of powdered sugar. Just a light amount in there. And we're just gonna do a little brush.
It's snowing sugar.
On each one. Look how cute they are.
This is gonna be so good.
All right, you guys, and they are ready. Our beautiful little summer, end of the summer desserts are ready. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. And then you just dig right in. You get that whipped cream, the fresh strawberries. Come on, I'm just gonna show you one more time. Peekaboo.
We all wanna see.
How cute is that?
Oh, they look delicious.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a bite.
Ooh, the crunchiness.
Mmm, mmm.
Is it good?
That is so good. Mmm. All right, so that was just my one puff pastry sheet. I'm next gonna grab my classic chili with beans. Now, if you don't like beans in your chili, you can grab a can of chili with no beans, or if you wanna make homemade chili, even better. I always say homemade is better. Okay, and we're gonna use about 3/4 of this can of chili, and we only have it on half of our puff pastry. This is gonna be a stuffed and puffed pastry that's savory and delicious. Beef hot dogs, and I already went ahead and cut 2 of my hot dogs up, and we're gonna put those right on top of our chili. Now, if you like chili cheese dogs, you are gonna love this super easy lunch, game day appetizer, whatever you wanna make it for. This is for our chili cheese dog lovers. And look, 2 hot dogs was perfect for that amount of chili. Now, the only thing that's missing, of course, the cheese. And I'm doing the mild cheddar, but you can use whatever cheese you like, a Colby Jack, a triple cheddar, a medium cheddar, a sharp cheddar, but we're gonna use about half a bag of this cheddar and make sure that this gets kind of spread out to those edges as well. Remember, we're only doing this on half of our puff pastry, and the reason for that is because we are gonna grab that other half, pull it off of the parchment paper, kind of stretch it out, and we're going to cover up all of that goodness. I'm gonna go ahead and move it to the side, just like so. And before we continue, I'm gonna grab my fork, and just like you would with a pie, we're gonna go ahead and close up those sides using our fork. Now you could use a pizza crust for this, a pie dough, but I think the puff pastry is just so fluffy, so delicious, always a crowd pleaser, and it really just stays really nicely together when you make something like this. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my melted butter now that that's fully enclosed, and we're gonna give this a nice little butter wash. This is gonna make it extra golden brown, extra tasty. We're gonna get those edges too. It'll help unseal those edges. This is gonna be delicious. All of the best, chili cheese flavors just locked into a gorgeous puff pastry. It's kind of elevating a chili cheese dog, instead of a bun, you got your puff pastry, and now it's fancy. That's what I say. Okay, that looks perfect. Get those sides too, yummy. Now I'm just gonna quickly give some cuts just so that chili can breathe in there. I think 3 little cuts should be absolutely perfect. And before we pop this in the oven, I am just gonna sprinkle a little bit of our chopped parsley for some beautiful green color. This is optional, you can totally skip this, but I think it's really what's gonna make this fancy and elevated. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to pop this in the oven. Beautiful. All right, my oven is set to 350 and this is gonna be in there for 30 minutes. All right, you guys, look how beautifully golden brown our puff pastry is. The best part about keeping it on its parchment paper is that we can just slide it right onto our cutting board. I'm gonna even try to get it off the parchment because why? Look how gorgeous that is. Oh my, perfectly cooked. All right, it is time to cut into this crazy creation. Oh yeah, look at that cheese. Oh, I cannot wait to dig into this. And this is some good old finger food, so you don't need a fork or knife. It is our chili cheese dog hot pocket. Yeah, you heard it first. Oh, I got a hot dog in that bite. This is so fun, so delicious. I mean, you have to try it. All right, this is my triple berry blend frozen. We're gonna use about 3 cups of our berries. Now I'm gonna grab some lemon juice and we're gonna do a little squirt in there, about 1 teaspoon. Yeah, it's just gonna help with that tart berryness. And now I'm gonna grab some cornstarch and we're gonna use about a teaspoon of this as well. Just eyeball it. Beautiful. Okay, and now I'm gonna zest a little bit of lemon in here. Get a real true lemon flavor in there. I just love berries and lemon together. It's the perfect combination.
As soon as you started putting the lemon on that thing, I just smell it.
Yes, I love lemon. You guys know that I'm obsessed with lemon. It's my favorite flavor, so I had to add it to this dish. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and give this a nice little toss to make sure those berries are fully covered in the cornstarch and the lemon.
Might need a little bit more lemon juice.
Oh, just wait. I'm gonna add something that's gonna make it extra sweet and good. Okay, so this is gonna be optional, but you're not gonna wanna skip it. It makes it super delicious.
What?
Just some maple syrup, a nice little, ooh, that might have even been too much on that side. Okay, just a little drizzle right in there. Make sure all those berries get coated in it. Oh yes, it's gonna be so yummy. Okay, see, now it's looking good, right?
That looks good. Who would have thought maple syrup?
Okay, beautiful. So now that our berry mixture is ready, I'm gonna go ahead and put this to the side. Grab some puff pastry. I let it thaw out. And we're gonna open this up, just like this. Use your papers. Give it a little stretch. I have my pizza cutter here, and I'm just gonna cut this into 4 pieces. Just like that. Beautiful. Grab a sheet pan, and we're gonna go ahead and lay these out about 2 inches. Well, I probably don't have enough room to do 2 inches apart, but that's fine.
Puff pastry usually stays pretty still.
Yeah, it just puffs up, just goes upward.
Is that what they call puff pastry?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, bring back those berries. This is gonna be such a yummy and delicious summer dessert. Grab a little scooper, and we are gonna scoop up those berries and put them right in the middle of our puff pastry. Try to keep them centered because we're gonna want those sides of the puff pastry to kind of, you know, puff up. Okay. And you can do this with any frozen fruit. You could use peaches, you can use mangoes, you can use cherries, whatever fruit you like. Grab it from the store and mix it up with some lemon, and you have a beautiful dessert. But I love berries, so I was super excited to try it with berries.
This smells so delicious, babe. Wow.
I know, and we haven't even cooked it yet. It's the best part. Beautiful. Now, one last thing that I like to do with my puff pastry is I like to do a little egg wash. So I'm just gonna grab an egg and kind of scramble it a little bit so we can get that mixed in, the yolk broken. And an egg wash is just gonna help that puff pastry be nice and beautiful and brown and crispy. Let's grab that, and then just right on the sides, right along those berries.
Oh, wow. Is it it's gonna have a nice light crust or something?
Yes, it's gonna make it crust up and be brown and crispy.
Does it make it flaky?
Yes, and if you don't have an egg, you can use some melted butter, but I've noticed that the egg wash is the best method for that beautiful brown puff pastry.
Yeah, that nice crunch to it, huh?
All right, last one. Ooh, these are gonna be yummy. Okay, make sure you don't miss any sides. Perfect. All right, you guys, this is ready for the oven. My oven is set to 350, and they're gonna cook for about 20 minutes. It's super quick.
So fast.
Wow, look how beautiful these came out. Ooh,
Wow.
I am too excited. But you guys know this would not be complete without some Haagen-Dazs. Now, I forgot to take this out of the freezer soon enough, so I am gonna do a little trick with my ice cream scooper. Come over to your sink, make sure hot water is hot. Run your ice cream scooper right on there, just for a few seconds, and then this should come in, be able to scoop so easy.
I've never seen that method before.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big scoop though. I don't need that much. Worked too good.
Oh, look at that.
And
It's a
then
perfect scoop.
right on top. Let's go ahead and put them on our serving platter.
Wow. Wow, look at the berries, the juices like seeped into the pastry.
Yes. These are gonna taste like French pastries. Ooh, you know what? I could have done a little powdered sugar on top, but it's too late now. I need to eat one right now. Okay, let's go for this one. Oh my, I'm so excited. Okay.
Oh, that crunch.
Oh my. All right, so I just cut my puff pastry into some even squares. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my muffin tin where I already have 6 pieces of puff pastry laid out. And we're just gonna go ahead and press our puff pastry squares right into our muffin tin, just like this. Perfect. So the package of puff pastry actually comes with 2 sheets, which is the perfect amount for this recipe because 1 sheet gets you 6 squares. Okay, look beautiful. That's exactly how I want it to look. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some pulled pork. I made this in my crock pot yesterday and I had some left over. So I'm gonna use this for this quick and easy appetizer. And we're just putting some pulled pork right into our puff pastry, just like this. This is gonna be so yummy and so easy to make. You can even pre-buy some pulled pork if you don't wanna make your own. I know the grocery store has some really good options for pulled pork. You can order some from a nice barbecue place, but it's gonna be worth getting that pulled pork for this easy appetizer. So we have some puff pastry, some delicious pork. We're putting it right in our muffin tin and we're gonna have the most delicious snack. All right, just quickly get these in here so we can pop these in the oven and eat them up. I am hungry. Oh yeah.
These look delicious, babe. Wow, like the pulled pork has such a great aroma.
Exactly, and I don't have any sauce on this quite yet. It's just plain pulled pork, but don't worry. We are gonna fix that right now. Okay, beautiful. So we added, just a little bit in each puff pastry. Now you're gonna wanna grab your favorite barbecue sauce. I'm using the Kinder's Mild Barbecue. If you follow me, you know that this is my favorite. And I'm just gonna squirt a generous amount on my pulled pork. Oh, this is gonna be so decadent. I love a good saucy pulled pork. And that puff pastry is almost gonna act like a bun for our pulled pork, almost like a pulled pork sandwich, but better. Oh yeah.
This looks so good, babe.
Right, look at that barbecue just dripping through that pulled pork. Oh, and you could totally mix it in the pulled pork pre-hand, but I just had to drizzle it right in there. All right, so we are done with this for now. This is gonna pop in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. All right, while that's in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a bowl. I have some coleslaw mix here. I'm gonna use that whole bag. We probably won't use all of it, but we can just eat whatever we don't use for our little appetizer. Now I'm gonna grab this delicious Marie's coleslaw dressing. This is just gonna be the easiest way to make some coleslaw. It has everything you need right in this dressing.
I've never seen a coleslaw dressing.
Oh, they're super popular and they're sold literally right next to the coleslaw bag. Okay, I'm gonna use this whole container because I want a saucy coleslaw. So that is 12 ounces. Of course, we gotta mix this up. And now we're gonna have a delicious and super easy coleslaw for our pulled pork little appetizer.
Looks perfect.
All right, let's go ahead and check on those pulled porks. Oh my, do you see these? These little bites of heaven.
They look delicious, babe.
Not only do they look delicious, they smell so good. But you cannot forget, we have this delicious coleslaw that we mixed together. We didn't make it, it's not homemade. We mixed it together, but you know what? It's gonna be just as good as homemade. And we're just gonna do a nice little a little bit right on top of each of these. Nothing crazy because I don't want them to be totally soaked with that coleslaw. Just a little pinch of coleslaw. And like I said, the rest will be just served on the side as a side dish. All right, do you see these?
Yeah, let's pop one out.
All right, I think I'm gonna grab this one because it looks like it's gonna be easy to just
Oh my gosh, it's so easy to grab.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Look at that perfect puff pastry. Oh, and if you don't have any puff pastry, you can use a biscuit or a crescent roll. I need 2 because I'm super hungry. Oh my.
It looks so good.
Looks so good. And
Try a bite.
it smells better than it looks too, right?
Yeah, it does smell pretty dang good.
It's really hot.
Is it good?